Okay, so let's quickly go over sewing up your hat. And before we get started, I just need to clarify on vocabulary. I have given the two different rows and sprung my own terms for them because I just could not ever remember, no matter how many years I've been doing it, I could never remember Peter Collingwood's terms for the two different rows. I mean, I still go in and look up techniques in the book, and he'll say on the plate row do this, or on the overplate row do that. And I still sometimes have to go to the front of the book and be like, wait, which one's the plate and which one's the overplate? So I renamed them. So the row where you start by picking two threads and dropping one, I refer to that as a shift row because it shifts the threads over for you. And then the row where you just pick a back thread and drop a front thread, I refer to that as the basic row. Because to me, at its core, sprung is just swapping the front and back threads over and over again. And the reason why that's important here is because we're going to be picking up one of the two threads from the shift row, and that's how we're going to make a semi-invisible seam. It won't be that invisible on my hat because I did kind of this interesting texture. And then I also use my starting and ending yarns for sewing up, which means I start from the ends rather than from the middle, because I have a really hard time figuring out how to get my ends to weave in and not be seen. And if I use them to sew up the hat, these will be hidden inside the hat, and then I don't have to worry about weaving any ends in. So let's go ahead and match our ends together like so. And because I started on a shift row, and I think things are going to be a little funky here, I just sort of, I can never quite figure out the first beginning ones, so I usually just kind of make sure I catch everything at least once because I don't want holes. So going to admit I don't always have what I want on that. Okay. All right, so now that we've kind of gone through something up here at the top, I'm not really sure what, now we're going to look for our shift row ends. And so in this case, because I was doing two threads is one, I'm actually looking for sets of 4 threads, which is this right here, and I'm going to go through the top 2. So if I had done this normal interlinking, there would be 2 threads right here. You see that before they go 2 threads before the first set of threads, making that under the loop underneath. So I'm going to go through the top 2, which on regular would be the top 1, and then see if I can't locate the right set over here. That looks like the right set right there. Okay. And then we're going to cross the thread back over to the same side and go through the next 2 sets. There's 2 ways to look for it after you've identified the first set. One is you can just look for it. You just count these out. Or 2, you just follow the threads along. So if I follow these 2 threads, they go under that set of threads and then come out here. It didn't occur to me when I was, when I decided to do my hat in this, oh, whoops, that's not right. See, I shouldn't be talking, I should be sewing. So it did not occur to me when I chose to do my hat in this pattern that it wouldn't it was going to be kind of hard to show you how to sew up the hat at the end. So I do apologize for that. Um, that's not right. Okay, and then I'm just going to go through that set even though I don't think that's the right set. You're not going to see it up here at the top. I just want to get close to the middle, and I'm just going to poke my needle through at the middle so that my end is on the inside. So that looks pretty good. You can't really see it. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side now. All right, it looks something like a hat now. We gotta get ourselves a brim on here and we should be good to go.